Hi everybody, welcome back to Gordon Bennett TV. It's our early evening show, 1700. The balloons have been flying for 49 hours, Marcus. It's incredible. Third place right now, Swiss 1, 1,316. Second place, Swiss 2, 1,331. And currently back in the lead, France 2, 1,339 hours. Event director Marcus Hagenade joins us in the studio. Hello, my friend.
Hello, good afternoon. Great pleasure.
Yeah, it's all getting exciting now, isn't it?
Oh dear, it's just, I don't know what to say.
You've been having some, you've been working hard with air traffic control.
Yeah, we did a lot of work yesterday related to Serbia, but we have a good network in FAI and I know lots of people there, so it turned out very well. Yeah. This afternoon we had been on the phone with Bulgaria. And I have to say, I have friends who called the minister on a weekend, and it turned out well.
So, what was the start of it? Was it a no, they cannot pass, or what was the process?
No, the usual thing is that air traffic control is easy. They know the procedures. We have flight plans. We follow the rules. We have instruments, all fine and set and done. But there's a civil aviation authority which has an additional layer of regulation in place, and for certain countries, they want to have an additional procedure for entry and overflight, and sometimes the two bodies don't talk to each other well enough, so sometimes it needs some networking, which we did, and so, it turned out very well. Yes.
So where do you start? You must have your little black book of all your contacts. I mean, what's the protocol? How does it work?
The protocol is my cell phone. The biggest thing is that that never runs flat of energy. Yeah. There are 1,500 numbers in it, and I used quite some today for Serbia and Bulgaria.
We were talking, our first dinner we went for a fondue, and I was talking with Marcus about many Gordon Bennetts in the past, and there was one from couple of decades ago actually, and you still had a number of somebody in one of the governments or something that was there. It's just a very sacred machine, eh?
It's the ambassador in Algeria.
That's the one, yes.
The Austrian one, yes.
Yeah. Well, what was that for? What happened in Algeria that time?
Oh, we had 3 balloons who landed in Algeria, and it was difficult to get them out until we found the right buttons to push, and it took them 3 days to get home.
Wow. So they were kept in safe housing with it for 3 days.
Yeah, indeed, yes.
So it's all getting exciting. I mean, we're contacting all the teams. You know, we've got our researchers. We've got Christian on the research. He's contacting all the teams. He's contacting all the headquarters, trying to get comments from them, trying to get videos, trying to get reports from them. And it is getting intense now. A lot of them are very, very, very busy. And plus, also, a lot of the times with the altitudes they're flying at, they're not available for a connection to get video through. But we do bring as much to you as we can, and we know you really enjoy it. Keep bringing your messages through, by the way. We'd like to get your messages, see what we've got. Hello from Kansas, USA, says Joe Stratton. Thanks for helping us first-timers understand that there's a race happening. Lots of things I'm learning. That's a good point, actually. We think we're building a story, but there might be somebody that's jumping in now, wondering what this is, what's going on. Well, it's the Gordon Bennett. It's a Coupe Aéronautique, and it's the long-distance gas balloon race. Marcus, put you on the spot a minute. Just sum it up in one little paragraph what this race is.
It's about long distance, as you said. It's not about who stays in the air the longest, but it's about who does the longest distance, measured in a straight line. And as Mark explained the other day, all people have on equal terms in terms of the airplane they are using, the balloon they are using. So it's all about strategy, precision, team effort, and in the end, the longest distance is the performance which takes people to the podium.
And it began in 1906.
1905.
1905,
yes.
No GPS.
No GPS.
No cell phone connection to the teams to the ground.
At that time, people were flying with the itinerary of the European railroad system because they, from what they saw and looking in the books, they knew about where they were.
And also, back in the day, you wouldn't have the situation we've got now of everybody all heading for the same place because they wouldn't have the same kind of contact, right?
Well, it was a totally different ballgame. People took off and came back home 3-4 days, a week later even so.
We spoke to the headquarters of Germany 3. Let's have a look what they were saying. Joined on the video call with Max and Nicholas up at the headquarters of the German teams. Beautiful location. We were there yesterday or the day before with some recordings. Really nice. What's happening? Tell me what's happening with you guys right now.
Yeah, we are off duty, so you can see us enjoying the view, having a coffee because we are on duty in half an hour, then for the next 4 hours. But currently we have to support the other team because we are managing 3 German teams. 2 teams are on their way to Greece, and the other one is going to land today. So we are quite busy to manage to get them safely through the clouds to the ground.
It's all getting exciting right now. Give me a summary of what you think's happening in the Gordon Bennett race with the other teams.
What is happening to our teams? Our plan worked out quite well, but in the next night we would get shot out to the Black Sea, so we would have to pull out the brake to slow down. That would mean to our teams to lower the altitude, and there are some hills in front of them, so they would have to go below the hills. This will not be possible, so they are going to land today, possibly.
So most of the teams are in the same boat. So
yes.
Next hours, we will see what the teams are going to do for the night. So let's see.
Who would you think's going to carry on through the night? Any predictions? Who might be carrying on through the night?
At least the teams which are behind. So France 1 and France 2, 3?
3.
3. So I mean they're quite behind. So they have a lot of space left. And then the question will be how deep do you need to go to park, and what's the direction doing, and may you even lose some space when you go down. So
because when you go down, you have to when you go to lower altitudes, the wind comes from the northeast, so you would maybe risk to lose some of distance. So you have to argue which is the better way, landing today with the last daylight or risking to land tomorrow with the first daylight, but having less distance than today.
Yeah, all the ones today that are going to be landing heading down towards the Black Sea, it becomes a real game of precision, doesn't it? How far do you push it? Every meter, I suppose, counts.
Yeah, but that is what was, I think, the last 5 races, Gordon Bennett. It was all about precision racing, not about just fly and see how far it can go. You have a big team discussing your strategy days before, even at least days before.
Yeah.
So it's a precision race since many years, because the technique's getting better. The years before, like in the 90s, there was no way you can communicate this easy with the teams.
Right.
Even our team, Germany 1, they watching the live streams of you because they have internet connection to 4,000 meters. It's crazy.
Yes.
So
Wow. And how's the feeling from the teams? Is everybody in good spirits? Is everybody okay?
Yeah, of course. Our team spirit is pretty good, even in the basket. The mood is good.
And your shift's about to start now. How long will that go on for? Will you be there all through the night, or when does your shift finish?
After 4 hours, the other shift is going to wake up. Then we have an 30 minutes transition to get the other teams on board, and then we can rest for 4 hours again.
Yeah.
So we will take over at 9 o'clock. No, we will give the second shift at 9 o'clock, and then we will go to sleep, and then come back at 1 o'clock in the night, change again. And then at 5 o'clock, the next team will take over again.
And when you go on shift now, are you just monitoring the situation, or do you have a protocol of actions you need to perform, just for the people back home so they get an idea what actually happens, without giving away secrets, of course?
You have some tasks we are doing all the time, like observing thunders, rain, if there are clouds, where the clouds are. But we are a service center for the teams. When they got requests, we will answer them. We will guide them through the way. We have the strategy discussed, and then we will check that they are on track and let them know. But whenever they have a question, we are there for them to answer it.
Yes. And dealing with 3 teams as opposed to just one, you have to obviously, put them in rotation of who you're dealing with first, right?
We try to help everyone in the same manner. We have support here from all teams, so we are also trying to help all of the teams.
That's the reason. At some points it gets busier than at other moments, and that's the reason we were off duty. We were down to St. Gallen. We got here up the hill before our shift to support them, because now we have to support one team pretty much because they are landing. We need them to guide them through the clouds. There are hills in front of them which are hidden in the clouds.
Wow.
So then you have many things to do at the same time. So then you are supporting each other as good as you can.
Do you always keep calm, or does it ever get quite tense?
We try to get to keep it calm, because when you get into a hurry, you can't work pretty good.
Okay, guys, I've kept you long enough. I know. I'll let you get back to it. Thanks very much, though, giving me some time here today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, great content there from the German team. All looking after all three teams as well.
Cool. Really good cooperation. Nice to see that.
So we got some questions coming in. Barbara Stokes says, what time is sunset where the balloons are currently flying? Well, here it comes. That line is the sunset. That's the night moving forward, Marcus.
Yeah, it's coming about in an hour from now. And of course, that plays a big part in deciding how to move on through the night or not. So this is really nicely illustrated.
And good friend of the show, Dawn Chase from the Balloon Federation of America, she says she can't wait to see the circles and the trajectory, so we can put the circles on the screen for you and show you here we are. So talk me through that a little bit.
Yeah, the one which is closest to the Black Sea is 1,500 kilometers, straight line from the takeoff in St. Gallen. And this is 1,500. So it shows that everything east of that is the place to target for.
And just before we went to the video with Germany 3, you were getting a call coming through, weren't you? What was the news on that?
Yeah, the call was actually from the team France 3, which who landed as we were speaking.
France 3.
So they're down safely.
About 962 kilometers.
Yeah.
And you want to correct a bit of information about the first race?
Indeed. The first Gordon Bennett race was in 1906, and FAI, the World Air Sport Federation, was founded in 1905. I mixed up these 2 years. I should have known.
It's all live, it doesn't matter. Mark Langenfield, thanks for the great coverage. Laura Schultz, hello from Edmonton in Canada. Rico Palert, hello from Istanbul. So excited to see you guys flying east. Istanbul, we've had a few questions about Turkey, Marcus. People are asking why is it blocked off?
Yeah, indeed. And I can tell you, Rico will be there someday for sure. Turkey is such a wonderful country. When you travel the place, it's so open-minded with air sport, and you're just waiting for us. We know. For the time being, it's quite complicated because of airspace surrounding Turkey. Also, Istanbul is now one of the major hubs in the world, so that generates a lot of air traffic limitations. I hope we won't have too long for too many more years, but definitely it's on our radar for hopefully not too long time to wait.
You were in negotiations with them for a long time about a potential World Air Games, backwards and forwards, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's not on anymore for now, but we keep having the contacts. Even today I had a couple of contacts with Turkey, who know me, who know ballooning, who know the whole thing. So doors are wide open, I would say. Let's see. The time will be right very soon, I hope.
Well, the night time is coming, the coast is coming, the balloons are heading that way. Does everybody have to land for safety, or is it possible with the conditions to still continue through the night, Marcus?
Well, they're quite close actually to the Black Sea, and now the question is, are they fast enough to make it to the coast before sunset, or are they slow enough to stay through the night and land when we have sunrise? Landing at night is legally okay. They are equipped, they are ready, but this is something you would want to avoid if possible. But still they could. So now they need to see what's best, and let's wait.
Well, let's get in a little bit closer and let's have a talk through some of these teams and have a look what we've got. France 2 currently in the lead there, Marcus.
Yeah, they are very high. They are at 5,600 meters, which is really high, which indicates that they are likely to continue on that heading, maybe because they have the speed and heading which takes them to the coast before sunset. Others are going down, which is an indication they are aiming to slow down and take out the speed of the whole thing and maybe hover through the night and continue early in the morning. So this is now the play they have to play. Very complex because the balloon is now reaching the end of their endurance. Some of them are. Ballast is going low, and it's quite a complex environment to fly, technically to fly as well.
Let us know at home. Type into the comments, who do you think is going to continue through the night? Do you think any teams will? Who's your predictions? Who are you rooting for? Who do you want to win? Let's have a look at some of the messages from Martin Vitry. 7:30 p.m. at Istanbul Airport, night time at 8 p.m. That's what's happening right now. Hello from Scottsdale, Arizona, USA. So fly safe, Bert and Noah. I'll be in Arizona. 2 jobs after this for the World Parachuting Championships at Eloy, Arizona. I'll see you there, Eric. Just any more messages a bit further up? Let's have a look if we can just scroll. I think that's all of them done there. So let's check in. What we've got now is a little hello video from Swiss One.
Yeah, hello together. We are still up in the air, doing great. Looking now for the next points for the strategy. I mean, our goal is still the Black Sea or the coast of the Black Sea. We are good on that track, a little bit fast. So we need to see how that behaves in the next few hours. But yeah, all good. Kurt is asleep. I'm piloting command in the moment. And we had some difficult airspaces behind us, but we managed that quite well. So yeah, let's see. There is a lot of balloons going into the same direction, so it will be quite interesting this evening, but also tomorrow morning, who is really still flying and who wants to really go to the coast. All right, okay, hear you, bye-bye.
Yeah, Swiss One, they're talking about tomorrow morning, watching who's going to be still flying. Talking of balloons flying, we've got some great messages have been sent in here. Some pictures from Dirk License of one of the balloons flying over.
Yeah, we see a lot of comments and observations which are shared with us from people on the ground who just realize what's going on. Nice to see how the race is really exciting Europe, I have to say, all over the place.
Yeah. We got some messages here. Kevin Jones, loving the coverage and excitement. Kevin from the UK. Barbara Joyner says, though they're rooting for the German teams, hope everyone stays safe. So this area here, Marcus, tell us about this.
Yeah, we received quite some questions, and you should know that the display on the web, the painted parts in the east, is for your information to indicate the limitations of the competition area. However, behind that there are clear, very detailed airspace restrictions, airspace definitions, which we discussed and clarified in the briefing. So the airspace, in fact, to be used is much more complicated than what you see. So this is in a way an easy way of showing you there are limitations on the Baltic Sea. On the north is the border to the Ukraine, on the south the border to Turkey. That is clear and defined, and this is just indicating roughly that there's an end to it, and that follows the definitions the AIP and other regulations in place have been shared with the pilots, discussed, agreed, and so just for you to let you know that it's much more complex there in the air than what we see. This is an easy way of displaying the boundaries of the competition zone.
Can you talk a little bit about how the venue gets chosen, why we're here, and how it decides where it's going to be in following years?
Well, first of all, it's a big honor to be the host nation, because the pilots are the ones who made Switzerland qualify for it. Yeah. And then you have interested bodies in the country who express their interest. Yeah. St. Gallen made it, and next year we're in a different place in Sion. And then, of course, the Ballooning Federation is assessing the suitability of the area, meteo, airspace, all the things around which are relevant. And then it's taken to the International Ballooning Commission in the end, to the delegates for voting, agreeing, and then it's on the calendar. So it's a process until you're here, but it starts with the performance of the pilots.
Well, last year it was won by Switzerland, and that means that Switzerland next year hosts again. As you said, it's going to be in Sion, Gordon Bennett 2023 in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. And we caught up with a good friend of yours, Martin Meisen. Let's have a look. Welcome back. This is a privilege. We're already looking towards next year in the 66th Gordon Bennett, and the strategist for the event, Martin Meisner, is joining us here in the studio. How are you?
I'm very fine. I'm very glad that the Gordon Bennett happens now in St. Gallen, and that they can launch the balloon tomorrow.
And the location next year, Sion, is it Sion?
Sion will be very different, because we are in the middle of the Alps, very close to the famous Matterhorn, and that will give a fantastic impression for the balloonists, but also for the visitors.
Amazing. And how much preparation have you already done? I know we're a year away. Does it start yet, or does it not start yet?
We are heavily involved since 6 months, and we will try to organize a hydrogen fiesta, because the hydrogen fuel becomes more and more important in Switzerland and in all Europe. So we want to do a larger program in Sion, also for foreigners, for tourists and visitors on the airport of Sion.
Now, your family, there's some great Gordon Bennett history. There's a nice fact. Was it your grandfather?
Yes, that was my grandfather, won the Gordon Bennett 1908. He flew over the North Sea up to Norway. So absolutely fantastic flight.
Incredible. I was watching a little YouTube of a launch. It was silent. There was no sound. It was black and white, of course, from 1919. And it was just to see these gentlemen in the full suits and the ties with the hats. But in 1908, that's
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was a real adventure. 3 of the balloons are fallen in the North Sea. One of them even died, and my grandfather survived after a flight of 72 hours up to northern Norway.
That's absolutely incredible. Were you aware of that much as a child? Were you interested at all? Or?
Yeah, that influenced all our family. So my grandfather, my father, my aunt, my sister, we were all involved in ballooning. And I myself also flew the Gordon Bennett race and won in 1984 from Zurich.
And you won? You won in 84?
Yes. We flew from Zurich down to northern France.
Congratulations on that, 1984. Wow.
That's a long time.
Well, we look forward to about 12 months from now being with you in Sion, and good luck with all the preparations.
Yeah, that would be fantastic if you join us in Sion. And we try to extend the program a little bit. Also, we start very early with also TV sentences, probably in Châteaudet on the famous hot air balloon meeting.
Well, great. Put it in your diaries, everybody. Enjoy this show and get prepared and ready for the 66th Gordon Bennett back in Switzerland next year with Martin. And we'll see you then.
Thank you very much.
It's exciting to be talking about next year already.
Unbelievable. Yes, but it's good. It's a strong storyline, and I'm so happy to see that this is continuing with the passion and the momentum.
Yes. Some questions. Martin Vitry for France 2. Distance to the coast is around 200 kilometers. So 5 hours flying at 40 kilometers an hour.
Well, theoretically, yes, straight line, but this won't play out because you're reducing altitude, you're getting slower. So in the end, it's longer than that. We need to see.
Richard Parry says, where will my mate Les reappear again? Where's Les gone, he says.
He's around the corner. He was very busy not assisting me because he was his jury, but he was listening in, of course, in all the things we were doing during the day. So he's busy as we are, yes.
Yeah. And we've got here, who is Swiss Balloon with Freedom? Well, that's Swiss One, isn't it?
Yeah, Swiss One. That's the balloon.
And Mark Langfield, wow, an incredible family heritage. Well, yeah, Martin Mesner.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not aware. Well, there's one co-pilot flying here, P2 Blanchard, in the race, a French team.
Yes.
And Blanchard was a French pilot in the late 1700th century, 20 years after it was invented.
Wow.
I don't know the exact year, but 1790 something. He crossed the channel, the British Channel, in a balloon. And the grandson is flying the race here. So he has an even longer track record, but with 200 years of interruption.
The first balloon flight, was it with a chicken, a sheep, and...
Yeah, true. Yes, that was...
and a hen.
Yes, indeed. That was 1783.
Incredible. We've come a long way.
The first manned one was on the 21st of November, 1783.
Yes.
The first crewed one is the correct wording.
Well, let's have a look what's happening here before we leave you for the afternoon. We'll be back, of course, at 8:30. But 5th place right now, Swiss 3. 4th place, USA 2. 3rd place, Swiss 1. 2nd place, Swiss 2. And still in the lead, France 2 with 1,364.02 kilometres. 2 days, 54, almost 55 minutes in flight. Marcus.
I have, as I told you the other day, 30 years ago, I had the pleasure to get going with the Gordon Bennett supporting the race. I have never seen a cluster performance as we see it now.
Yeah.
So close, so tense, so tight. Unbelievable. I've not seen this in the last 30 years like this.
Remember, if you don't have it already yet, you can download the YB Racers app onto your mobile device and follow the tracking there. You can keep in touch on the internet with the webpage of live.gordonbennett.aero. And of course, you can go to YouTube, where we've got lots of content, not only from this race, but many races in the past as well. And that's Gordon Bennett TV. One more message before we go. Why is mainstream sports news not reported on Gordon Bennett? It's way more exciting than soccer and cricket.
Well, we will be, of course, we agree, but we will be on mainstream because there's TV production which is produced here and it will be broadcast later this year. So we are in contact, thanks to you and Mark and the team. So there's more to come, definitely.
Yeah. And Anna-Lena Hagenay, is that a relation?
Oh, my dear, my daughter.
Hello. Fantastic.
Nice to see you, Anna.
She says, fantastic to watch you guys. We really enjoy following the race. Good luck to all pilots still racing. Special greetings to my dad. Very proud of you. Give him a little round of applause for Marcus there, yeah. And
Thank
good
you.
friend of the show, Benoit Pillard, says, fantastic. My only fantastic this show.
Indeed.
We'll be back with all the evening action. Are you going to be with us, Marcus, or is it going to be Thomas?
Well, the Thomas for sure, but I won't be far.
Okay, well, it'd be good to get you back. It's always a nice one. The evening show, it's going to be a very exciting show. There's going to be more teams on the ground. Who will still be flying? Who will be in the lead? Who's going to be down to that east coast, down by the Black Sea? Join us back here, Gordon Bennett TV, 20:30, 8:30 p.m, live from Switzerland.